Hey there and welcome back to Wisconsin, USA in SnowRunner. What we are going to do right now is we are going to haul all of this, what we have on a flatback on our big girl twin steer over here, to the other region. And we are going to build another bridge. Yeah, we are going to focus on infrastructure left and right until all the roads are accessible. And that's the goal that we have. And I think it's a very worthy one though, right? Because then we can really concentrate on doing all the missions here and there, instead of just doing it part by part, right, you know, and then, oh, one region is complete, let's move on to the next one. I'm not really a fan of that right now, so let's be, how shall I say, straight to the point. All the bridges are already done here, right, on this first region, so the infrastructure is already done, and let's just keep at it, straight to the point, and off we go. Big girl is a tough cookie though, for real. My oh my oh my. It's such a joy to ride, you know, and especially with the double hauls. Normally a flatbed like this, well, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of back and forth though, right? You know, if we are doing it with another truck, sadly. Or we have to get a special trailer, and that special trailer often just drags the entire truck down to a crawl in deep mud. So yeah, you know, the twin steer, it's my favorite truck right now though for collecting and delivering. Now I wish though that the mud at the beginning was not really there, so we could try out a proper highway truck for once. Because, you know, like most of the game is just pure off-road, difficult terrain and all, and so far the off-road of the highway trucks, I'm not really sure. I think they might fail rather desperately though in most tasks, but I could be wrong because I have zero experience with them. But this is a proper highway that we are driving, right? You know, most of the time on this little pad. Sure, this little nook and cranny is not the case here. We have some patches of dirt and rocks and debris, of course, but most of this road is actually a highway, especially once we enter the other zone. So a highway truck, I mean, it's very tempting to buy one, just to try it out. Maybe we should if we have enough money. Let's get some gasoline here. Alright, the long journey starts now. Wait a minute, the lift over here? Oh yes, this is from the other mission. I was like, was that even possible? We did accept it on the other side of the map, by the way, so yeah, you know, like, it should actually be focused on there. Then we swapped garages and it just did pick a mission from this region. It does happen, it does happen. Now we have another DLC truck, right, you know, that came with the other Padera DLC bundle. And that one is actually tuned out all the way to the brim right now. It's a very, very chunky, and I mean a very chunky truck though. It sadly only has a 2-size flatbed, but it's not really made for, you know, for just 2 size cargo. Yeah, it does need more than that. You will see it once I show it in a second, once we arrive though and deliver this. But all I have to say about that truck so far, it looks a little bit silly with just a normal flatbed on the back, you know. It really does look a little bit silly there. And you will realize, yeah, that is made for a massive trailer. Such a weird thing, man, you know, even the interior of the cabin is painted pink. Yeah, it is such a strange vibe for me to drive this thing, but I love it though, right? We named it the Big Girl because it kind of reminds me of the elegance though, how it drives. A little bit of being fragile, yet being so extremely tough, like a big girl that goes to the gym though, right? You know, and does some dancing on the side, flexible, quick and agile. But more muscles than your average dude, you know? Oh yeah. It was a good name choice. So much fun, man, to drive this. Absolutely fantastic. I'm just still so fascinated. I keep compare it to all my other trucks. And there are a lot though that just come very close to the twin steer. But at the same time, it still feels like this is in a whole different league. And add the difficulty to it, you know? With the difficulty, it feels really like we are not cheesing or anything. And yet we are so overpowered with it at the same time. I love it. I just realized, look at those hooks on the side though. Yeah, I know it is for a pipe there, or, you know, like a plastic sheet, a cover, right? You know, that we can actually roll up and store there. And over there too. Man, that kind of feels dangerous though to have. Yeah, it is actually coming out of it. Yeah, do you see it? It's just poking a little bit on the sides. I don't know, man. I don't know. Feels like a hazard. Come on, big girl, you can do it. High gear up the hill. Might be a little bit tricky over here with high gear if we do stutter once. Well, no issue, no biggie. Alright, awesome. Right over the small bridge. It's good that we did not have to repair this one. There we go, boys. The Grain Rouge River. It's kind of awesome that we can already build things over here. Think about it, because normally it did take a little bit of time, right? It did take a little bit of time. Because we did 100% on one map and then we went to the next one. And then in the end we did the contracts. So what I do know is we have to drive past our garage. Then we have on the right side a factory. And right before we... Well, right at the corner, in front of a bridge, is a little road going left. And that one we have to take. It's kind of interesting, by the way, to see all the fallen trees. It's a very important detail, right, if you think about it, because if the house to the left was almost completely destroyed, planks out of the roof and all, you know, and all the trees were just standing, yeah, something is off there. Completely off. Alright, so that is our garage. The factory's to the right there. There's a bridge to the right behind there too. We have to fix that one also. Oh, the wrong turn. Yeah, that's a different one. Interesting. And we have to keep our eyes open for a little road sideway. And that is the bridge that we do need to fix right there. So cool to see it, right? You know, like, yeah, man, I am always proud whenever we fix one of these things up. It is ultimate progression, though. Yeah, okay, right over here. It was simpler to see than I thought. Factory this way. And here we are. Beautiful. Now, I think what we are going to do, though, is we are going to pick the tools that we do need now with our bigger truck, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, we want to... Are we doing this? No. Task. Start task. Yeah, surface spare parts. Alright, so what we are going to do, we are going to park Big Girl right over here. And then we are going to pick up those over there. Although it's a little bit silly to do it right here. But, you know, you will see why. Because I really want to show you the truck. And I really love how that one looks like, though. Yeah, it's this big boy right over here. The Avonhorn A15. It is an absolute monster, though, how it looks like. Doesn't it look a little bit silly? Like, hey, look at me with my tiny flatbed, though. The engine itself is... It's almost the same size of it. You know, it feels a little bit wrong. Especially with these beautiful tires. They are the Avonhorn tires. And it feels just wrong, though. Look at the chimneys. It's like a monster truck. Trying to haul your daily groceries. You know what I mean? Let's put some lights on here. But it's an amazing looking truck, though. Caramel colors with red. Very old school, though. I would say this is a truck from the 60s. Something like that. Maybe 70s, though. The whole design and look of it, though. It just feels like it. But I cannot wait to test this one out in deep, deep, deep mud. It's a fantastic truck, though. I can keep talking about it, and I really, really want to. But what can I say about it that's not already being said? It's like a monster truck. It's an absolute monster to drive around with. I'm sure it is hyper powerful, as you can see right over here. It's an S tier to weight, and it's a very chunky boy. So in other words, if it's an S tier to weight, this is my most powerful truck by far right now. Just look at the tires, though. Massive tires. Now, I did not check, by the way, the fuel usage per minute. And it's on a decent one, though. It's very decent. 11 to 12 liters per minute. We had trucks that are way worse with that. And all-wheel drive differential lock is always on. So that's a nice little bonus, though, if you ask me, right? Especially with very tough jobs. Here we go. Now, what do we have here? Show task. Okay, the wrong way. It's good, though. Thought we had to accept it still. Now, we got some wood over there. That is nice, because there's the other bridge towards the little island in the middle of the map, where there's still an upgrade. That big boy over there is very, very useful for us, because we only need to deliver 2 planks. Well, 2 loads of planks, that is. Now, I'm kind of happy, though, that it only has a flatbed size of 2. Because imagine it had a flatbed size of 3 or even 4. The size will just be so extreme that it will become not very practical anymore to drive it around. This kind of seems like a hidden road, though. I might be wrong. Well, it kind of is, though. Yeah, look at that. Not twin steer passable. Nonetheless, it's a road. Beautiful airco, by the way. Oh yeah, look at the buttons, by the way, at the gear shift. So old school. Just a little lever, right? You know, for the high gear and low gears. Watching this truck go over there, the little slope that we just did, though, it just really shows why this truck was made mostly. Just to roughneck anything it goes through, you know. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. There's someone fishing there. No way, though. We do see more people again. Now delivering products from the factory will be so much easier. Thanks for your help. You're welcome, though. There was someone fishing there, though. The mystery continues, one might say. Very cool. Now, I believe over here is also, yeah, the wood framing. Let's just go grab that and deliver it directly. I thought we had to go back, but nah, we can just take that one. And it drives, by the way. I'm not sure if any of you have ever played World of Tanks or any other World War II tank simulation games. A little bit arcadey, though, with World of Tanks. But it drives like those super heavy tanks, though, right? You know, like the Maus, the German massive solid steel plate tank. Yeah, maneuverability? Why? Just go forward, right? You know? Man, it really feels like you are driving a bolt. Yeah, just imagine a bolt that you screw into another steel frame or something like that. Just wire some tires on it. Maybe hot glue it if you want to, if you feel creative. And just imagine you have a radio controllable vehicle there. That's how this one actually feels like. It's super heavy. It keeps on going once it goes. So yeah, it's an absolute amazing truck, though. It's an experience worth getting. And we are not even trying difficult trucks, though. I mean, routes. Thank you. Not having to climb for half an hour just to get home has its perks. Yes, but also its downtimes, though, because right now you're not bulking. You know, you're not making your muscles grow. Whoppa, here we go, boys. Thanks for your help with the bridge, but I found out that the materials for the new structure that we're laying around on the lot have vanished. I think the hurricane blew them over to the river. I saw pallets with them washed ashore at the islands. Will you get them for me? Sure, but we will not do that right away, though, for one single reason. If we do get it with this one, it can have a crane, but it cannot have a crane and flatbed. So that means that we have to attach a trailer to it. That's going to be a pain. A race suspension kit, lovely, for the board. Oh yeah, you know I wanted that one for quite a while now. I really wanted that one, and that makes me very, very happy. Oh, wait a minute, is that the trailer that we are talking about? I did see. Oh yeah, this is the trailer, though. How are we getting there? Probably from here. Somewhere. I don't know, my boys. I don't know. But anyways, let's go and fix another bridge. The southern bridge. Why not? Metal beams right over there. And where can we get some of those? To be honest, we could take the same route. And I could just show you the difficulties where we did face with the twin steer in this one. Because this big boy didn't have that mud test yet. So let's go. This truck is already a massive big boy, though, but let's go with the suspension right there. Let's sell this one. Tires, can we have bigger tires too? 58. No, I don't think so, though. We got a 58 already. Yep. So that's not bad. It's just a little bit taller, and it was already a freaking size. Now we are going to have two tests over here. Now we have her in high gear. And because of the all-wheel drive always on and differential lock always on, it has massive advantage over normal Western trucks. A lot of Russian trucks have all-wheel drive and differential lock on always. So that's a very good bonus, by the way. Yeah, different nature though, huh? Different climates. Steps with massive downpours always created a huge issue though on Eastern Europe. For logistics. Just imagine grassland fields till the eye can see, and once you reach the point where the eye can see, there are more grass field still the eye can see. And over and over and over and over and over and over. It is absolutely massive. The Mongolians could conquer all of that though with their massive horse armies in no time. If it was mostly forest and mountains and other places, right, you know, yeah, they would have had a difficult time for real. But so far, you know what I mean? It's a massive real issue for... Wait a minute. Do we still have something? No, interesting. Alright, now let's see. Break in there, right over here. Can we activate, turn on the generator? I'm not sure how much it actually has. But that's okay. There we go. It had played... What am I doing? Oh, yes, of course I'm doing something wrong. Now that I realize we did need a trailer for this. But oh well, let's go the way how we are doing it right now. And then later on we might do something more about it. But this is a good challenge. But yeah, you know, it always had massive issues with logistics there in Eastern Europe. Think all wars that happened there from Napoleon and before that. With Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan. And then after that, right, World War I, World War II mostly. So railroad systems there are key. And of course the modern highways. And you know, like, yeah. For the off-road parts, you do need differential lock and all-wheel drive non-stop on. And of course powerful enough engines and tires and all. Now, Western Europe is very much tamed, by the way, so there are no real issues there, but of course there are specialized trucks too for different jobs. Like in the Netherlands, there's so much water, and there are some off-road places too that you have to fix something, or you know, it's quite rare. So super specialized trucks are not existent, but specialized highway trucks are. Okay, we are stuck on that one little rock, but as you can see, we just keep pushing ourselves out anyways. Let's put her in high gear. Doesn't really matter though, it just keeps going. But if we go, let's say to... yeah. I think Western Europe is extremely tamed though. Now if we go to Northern Europe, you do need the big trucks, right, you know, for the logging, and you go over rougher terrain. If you go, let's say, to Norway, you have a lot of mountains. Sweden, also a lot of fjords and mountains, just like Norway. And if you go to Finland, you have lots of water, lots of lakes. You have tons of forest and tons of flat land, but also a lot of rocks here and there, right? So you have to be agile and powerful enough to go through that. And it's also very wet terrain though. Of course, winter is a lot of ice and snow in those regions, so you have to think about that too. Now, if we go with America though, I think this truck is the absolute symbol of it right now. You have something for rough terrain. You have for, well, look around. We got the mountains. We got hillsides. We got the... how also we call it, the fields and the lakes and the rivers, and so much nature though. Most of America is not conquered yet, right? And by conquered I mean, of course, you know, infrastructure left and right, just an entire network of it. And there is a huge network though, you cannot underestimate it. I mean, those highways go on forever, but you know what I mean. There's so much untouched, beautiful nature reservoirs, and you know, like just nature on its own. Like you cannot specialize too much into one thing, because if you go to Arizona and you go to Michigan, you go to even Ohio is completely different, right? You know, and Utah is completely different from Arizona, and yet they border one another. And then you have, of course, you know, the more European nature parts, like, let's say, the Boston and so on, right, you know? you need so many different types of trucks for that. And hence we have the twin. Oh, wait a minute. Before I react on the twin steer, look at that little chain over there. Oh, that's nice. But I can imagine though, if you step on this, your chin is going to just dig right into that second step there. Oh yeah. But it is so nice to see that it's actually moving around because it doesn't block us from anything. That is so good. But yeah, you know, like you have those twin steers, you have those Kenwood log haulers, you have, you know, oh, what was it called? Oh, it's so on the tip of my tongue right now, guys. I forgot the name. One of those very huge trucks though, right? You know, to get all the logs out. Same with Canada, uses them too. We have the gold mines in the middle of nowhere, you know, and the other resources. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different aspect though. And I love it for it, you know. I love it for it. And while we are talking about all of that though, it is so easy to underestimate like the type of truck that you're driving, because every region on our planet needs something else. You cannot just go into Europe with an American truck because the roads here are just modernized from the medieval times, right? So they are small, there are many corners here and there. And you do need a flat nose truck, right? Where you are sitting on top of the engine. And that's why American trucks are not really being sold here. They are very, very useless for transport. Remember, like, everything is here conquered. We have a lot of dig sites, you know, like the German iron and coal mines around around Düsseldorf. But everything is so well put together throughout the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Because think about it, medieval roads are just upgraded, right? We have Roman roads that are just upgraded to modern ones. So take a couple of thousand years of infrastructure being modernized, and you have a very well old system. Not a lot of nature though that is untouched, and the nature that is untouched stays untouched, you know. There are no special operations there, no matter the gas or the oil or the gold or anything that you can find here. And if it's done, it's very, very slow, because if it's done, then you have to place that nature reservoir somewhere else again, right? You know, it does happen, but it's so extremely rare. It's so extremely rare. Now, if you go, let's say, to Eastern Europe, then we have, of course, you know, like I said, with all the muds, and certain American trucks do drive there. And Hungary and Romania, they have a lot of Tatra trucks. They are not Russian ones, although people think they are Russian because of, well, SnowRunner. That plays SnowRunner, of course. But yeah, they are actually Eastern Europe, Southeastern. And by the way, talking about flat-nosed trucks, by the way, from Europe, right? They also have a difficult time in the small roads of Greece and in Italy, because those roads are really, really ancient there, you know. And yeah, you know, lots of respect for those truckers there that have to drive them non-stop. And I did see a couple of interesting small trucks from the Philippines. They kind of remind me of the tuk-tuks. You know, the little taxi ones, but they are bigger. And they are mostly made for long stretches, right? You know, through jungles and highway jungle. And they do need a lot of cooling, tropical weather and all. It is so fascinating how many details you can actually go through, right, with everything. Think about it. Every region just needs something else, and one truck is not a master of all. And that's a good thing. Good for you and me, right? Because more things to talk about, more things to wonder about, more things to experiment with, right? You know, to be fascinated by. Maybe take something from another and implement it somewhere else. Also reminds me of the tractors differences, though. In Europe, you have a lot of medium-sized tractors. In America, you have the big ones because the fields and nature, you know, farmland, the fields are so extremely big there. And then you have Japan that has all the mountains as an example. And you do have the very small tractors. And yet you have to be powerful enough to work on rice paddies and all. It is... I love it. You know, I could talk about this for a very long time. But to keep it structural then for an entire video, though, I do need to make a document, right, you know, and give examples here and there, pictures and all, so I can make better points about it. But I think we all get the drift of what I'm trying to ramble about. And that's just diversity per region, though. That's such a cool thing. And there's so many cool trucks that I've never heard of, like this one. I've never ever seen it in my life. And I freaking love it. It kind of reminds me like of an old school 60s, 70s barber shop for some reason. Mixed with some lollipop music, you know, and some caramel candy that you don't have anymore. Maybe a couple of the old schoolers, right, you know, from my channel viewers probably are smiling right now, though. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, for real, man. Now, this mission keeps popping up, though. The wrong turn. I think we have priority with that one. That's something that we have to fix soon. Now, for this road, yeah, I think, though, it's behind that factory to the right. Okay, we can just drive. All right. By the corner, we just have to go further. That's good to know. Very good to know. By the way, is this truck slow? I think it is extremely slow compared to other trucks that we are used to. But I do like that. I really, really do like it. Because I rather have a lot of power and take my time. And by the way, power without control is not good enough, though. Keep that in mind. It's never good enough. You do need control over your power. And with that, though, you know, comes the rest. It's absolutely fantastic to have a powerful truck that has the control and the capabilities, and especially the balance that this truck has right now. Can't go wrong with it. So yeah, one of my favorites in the making, though. It really depends on how everything goes later on. Okay, so we have to go a little bit further. I wish there was actually a metal beam around here somewhere, but it seems like everything is just pure wood, though. This is not wrong, though, because later on we can just have a lot of fun with that, too. And I think this truck might actually be... Let's just keep going forward. Be perfect for delivering the pie mission towards Grandma in the middle of the night. That is such a weird mission, though. Pies from the middle of nowhere? Delivering it to Granny to the middle of nowhere. Oh, by the way, some of you might have a lot of experience with trucks, right? You know, and if you do know about a strange but somehow awesome truck, let me know, alright? Because I really will want to know. I want to know more about these things. Because there's no way that I know every truck around there in the world, though. I know about quite a lot of them, though. Not in perfect detail, sadly enough. But you know what I mean. The more I know, the better it is, though. I'm all about here to learn too, you know. And if you do like my little ramble, and you didn't click away yet though, check out that, well, Google it, the biggest... 1 second, I will find the name. 1 second. There we go, let's deliver this one first. Alright, there we go though. Check out the biggest bulldozer in the world. It is the Komatsu D575A-3SD. You can just type the biggest bulldozer in the world though and you will find it. But my oh my, that is a massive one though. And I do love it. There are also some haulers of that size. And there's a lot more of those specialized trucks and heavy vehicles though. It's a fascinating thing. Just the engineering behind it. So that nothing snaps and all. It's a dream though, isn't it? Look at this though, huh? The cloud behind us, man. I just noticed it. Oh, that puts a smile on my face though. The realism added to that. That's very nice to see. Yeah, minor details though, huh? It's what a game, what breaks and makes a game in my opinion. Now, is this our last bridge though that we have to fix? I'm not 100% certain about it. I think there is one more that we have to fix in this region. Let's turn around. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go grab, of course, you know, the mission. Let's track it down. There we go. Only spare parts? Well, we do know where to get them, right? Shellbox warehouses. Do we need some electricity over here too, by the way? I think we do, right? So far, no. Interesting. 2 service spare parts. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's turn around. Nature here seems to be so beautiful. I was thinking about that bridge over there, but I didn't think about... will there be a railroad bridge? Yeah, it is. So probably all the bridges are fixed in this region. And that means that we can concentrate on some real recovery missions. There are tons of vehicles stuck here and there. We have the Padera for it. And I think the Padera will be an awesome recovery vehicle. I hope it has the power for it. If not, this big boy will be an awesome one too, right? You know, the 6Z we also have for recoveries. But I kind of have a feeling like I really trust this one even more than the 6Z by just strength and grip and, you know, being able to pull a deep truck out of deep mud. I don't know, man. But if I compare the 6Z's looks to this one, I think this one will be the master of strength in general. And you guys know how much I love the 6Z in all my journey so far. Awesome, this bridge will help us speed up log delivery from the wood cutting mill. Interesting. So yeah, that one is fixed. This one we did drive over. I will just go through the missions. Oh yeah, absolutely. It seems like we have fixed everything up, so that's very nice now. The infrastructure of this region is complete. I'm very happy about it. So right now we have to do a lot of recovery missions, and then we are going to do the collecting missions. Let's say the missions that are, well, like right over here, the bricks in the water and all. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm very curious about it because I'm not sure how we're going to tackle the water over here. So that will be a curious one for me. And then we have some other missions here and there, right? So by that, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy. Don't forget to subscribe, though. Bye-bye.